You guys might have heard Trump went to the Middle East and there was a summit with the Saudis and all of the other Emirates and all of the other Gulf monarchies who we all hate. Gotta hate him. Don't love him one bit. And it was just nothing. It was literally nothing. Literally nothing happened. Huge arms deal with Saudi Arabia, the most normal thing you could ever have imagined. And absolutely no deals were made at all of any consequence. It was basically just buttering up meaningless words. So I was wrong. I was like, could Trump shake up the Middle East? The answer is no. The answer is all that happened is Trump sold some weapons to the Saudis. Apparently he got a plane. Apparently. Let's go. Trump Middle East trip summary. AI, help me out here. 7 takeaways from Trump's Middle East trip. Okay. Al Jazeera is better than CNN. The president has secured massive investment deals and appeared to snub Israel and scold neoconservative interventionists. That's just meaningless words, man. Give me a break. Like, yeah, investment deals. Okay, investment deals with the fucking Gulf states, man. And another significant thing was like the Saudis paid off Syria's debt, which to be clear is probably not a good thing. It just means that Syria is now indebted to the Saudis and the other Gulf states instead of the IMF. I guess one good thing was the removal of sanctions from Syria, which to be clear is utterly insane that they were even still there, since the government, the previous government, which was the entire justification for having them on Syria, has been gone for like 6 or 7 months now, and they still had sanctions on them that whole time, and Trump needed to be buttered up by like the fucking Gulf monarchies to convince him to get rid of them. I feel like some funny business was going on there. I feel like the Syrians might have been coerced into making some sort of deal with the Gulf states before they would allow the US, or they would push the US to get rid of the sanctions. Because there's no logical reason for them not to have removed them earlier than this. There was some funny business going on there for sure. Especially given that this also came at the same time as Syria basically became informally indebted to the Saudis because they paid off all of their debt. And yeah, he didn't even touch the orb. You got to remember that. Trump did not even touch the orb. Like, Trump took a swipe at fucking wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and shit, you know, while he does the same shit that Biden was doing in Gaza. And he gave like a speech that was clearly written by AI, where he was like, oh, the Middle East is beautiful. Just look at how beautiful these countries, just look at the beautiful Gulf states. They're so beautiful. Yeah, they're fucking slave monarchies. Of course they're beautiful, dude. You know what's not beautiful though? If you look under the nice surface of the buildings. It is interesting they didn't travel to Israel, but they're all like, he snubbed Israel on this trip. He did sort of snub Israel with the Houthi deal and the Iran deal, the potential Iran deal rather. But also those happened before this. They might have happened regardless of this. I don't think that was specifically related to this. I think it was just the timing made it seem like they were. The actual summit itself was a whole lot of nothing aside from the Syria stuff, which is very honestly bad because it just makes the Syrian government, which was already highly aligned with the US, even more indebted to the US and its allies. It really feels like they use the sanctions as sanctions relief as an excuse, like as a means of like coercing them into being even more their puppet. And like before this happened, Hamas released a prisoner of war, an IDF soldier who was a prisoner of war taken captive lawfully under the international law for being an illegal occupying soldier on Palestinian land. He was released in a goodwill gesture to the US, and Trump did nothing in return. Trump did nothing. The idea was that like this would foster something, and then Trump did nothing. Like, he's literally said or done nothing since then. So huge L. Should not have released that guy. Hopefully they learn from this and they never make a deal with them without any sort of guarantees ever again. But yeah, I mean, this was nothing. Gaza barely even came up. There was nothing about it. It was just, hey, Saudis, you want some guns? Have them. I wonder what you're going to use them for. Oh, I shudder to think. And then it was like, hey, can I have a plane? Yes. And then he gave some like meaningless speeches where he says shit that he obviously doesn't believe, that someone else wrote for him, about how like Arab culture is so good. You guys built these beautiful cities yourself. Just don't talk about the Indian and Filipino slaves. Wink, wink. And then he went home. And that was it. It was literally nothing. I was wrong. It was nothing.